Once app nav is captured, you should certainly be seeing final blue. And remember, anything blue in the FMA tells you that it's an armed mode, right? So blue would be an armed mode. You should see final blue. Think of final as being the glide slope, so to speak. App nav is your azimuth or lateral guidance. And final blue, final would be your vertical. So you've got the glide slope, which is final, and you've got app nav, which is the lateral, your localizer, loc and glide slope respectively, so to speak. This is a good way to think about it, to keep it in mind, right? Now, final blue will ultimately become final app in green, okay, on the FMA, which basically tells you, hey, now the airplane is following both the lateral and the vertical path, and ultimately when that happens, when is that? Okay, well, it's one of two possibilities here. It's going to be when the aircraft flies into a descending point of this approach. Okay, in other words, the aircraft, you might be below that path, we fly into the descending point and then come down. That is where we would expect final lap to engage, right over here. Now, contrary to that would be if you're descending from the top, once you approach a level off portion of the approach. So for example, let's say you were up here, maybe at 3,000 feet, and you're in an open descent down to 2,000. Once we descend on down to this level portion, which happens to be 2,000, then, and only then, if you're coming from the top, is when your final app is going to enunciate into the FMA. Final app is the equivalent of glide slope star. So glide slope star means you're capturing the glide slope. Final app coming in basically means you're capturing the vertical glide path to come on down on this approach. Now, the reason I say this and emphasize it is because on an ILS, when you get glide slope star, that's the appropriate time to set that missed approach altitude. And likewise here with an app nav strategy, when you get final app, that's the appropriate time to set the missed approach altitude. So just to recap, app nav strategy is a beautiful tool that you have on this aircraft that allows the airplane, specifically the FMGS, to calculate the CDP for you, the constant descent point, and it will track azimuth as well as vertical path, much like a localizer and glide slope, and ultimately takes all the mathematics and all the brain power for you trying to figure out where to come on down, takes it out of the equation, does the whole thing for you.